Hey, listen up, because I've got this story that's straight out of a movie. The kind that tugs at your heart and then flips everything upside down. Picture this. It's a drizzly Tuesday evening in a small-town diner called the Rusty Spoon. The kind of place where the neon sign buzzes faintly outside, flickering against the wet pavement. Rain patters softly on the windows, like tiny fingers tapping for attention. Inside, the air smells of fresh coffee brewing and greasy fries sizzling on the grill. You can almost hear the hum of the old fluorescent lights overhead, casting a warm, yellowish glow on the checkered floors. Our heroine? That's Mia, a 28-year-old waitress with tired eyes, but a smile that could light up the room. She's been on her feet for 8 hours straight, her sneakers squeaking against the linoleum as she wipes down counters. Mia's got that quiet strength, you know? The type who remembers everyone's order and slips extra napkins to the regulars. Life hasn't been easy for her. Single mom to a little girl named Lily, scraping by on tips and dreams of something better. But she pours her heart into this job, chatting with customers like old friends, making them feel seen. The door creaks open with a jingle of bells, letting in a gust of cool, damp wind that carries the scent of wet earth. In shuffles this man older, maybe in his 60s, leaning heavily on a worn wooden cane. His clothes are threadbare. A faded gray coat dripping rain, pants patched at the knees, and shoes that look like they've walked 1,000 miles. He winces with each step, his face etched with lines of pain, like every movement costs him. Mia watches him from behind the counter, her heart twisting a bit. He looks broken, homeless, maybe, or just down on his luck. The diner falls quiet for a second, the only sound the distant clatter of dishes in the kitchen. He hobbles to a booth in the corner, sliding in slowly, his cane clattering against the table. Mia approaches with her notepad, her voice soft and welcoming. "Evening, sir. What can I get for you tonight? Our special's meatloaf, hearty and warm. Perfect for this weather." The man looks up, his eyes cloudy but kind, rimmed with exhaustion. "Just a cup of coffee, please. Black." His voice is gravelly, like it's been unused for days. Mia nods, but she notices his hands trembling slightly as he folds them on the table. No wallet in sight, no bag, just him and that cane. As she pours the coffee, steam rising in lazy curls, she thinks about her own struggles. Rent's due soon. Lily needs new shoes, but this guy, he looks like he hasn't eaten in days. She sets the mug down gently, the ceramic clinking softly. "On the house," she whispers with a wink. "We all need a little warmth sometimes." He pauses, mug halfway to his lips, steam fogging his glasses. "Thank you," he murmurs, his voice cracking just a touch. Mia smiles and turns away, but inside, a warm glow spreads, that feeling of doing something right in a world that's often cold. The night drags on, rain drumming harder now, thunder rumbling in the distance like a warning. Mia glances back at him occasionally, seeing him sip slowly, staring out the window into the dark. Who is he? What's his story? You ever meet someone like that, where you just wonder what life's thrown at them? But as closing time nears, he motions her over. His eyes lock on hers, intense now. "Miss, there's something I need to tell you." And just like that, the air thickens with unspoken words. What could it be? Hold on, because this is where it starts to get wild. Okay, picking up right where we left off that rainy night in the Rusty Spoon, with Mia leaning in, her apron stained from the day's spills, the scent of cooling pie lingering in the air. The man's voice hangs in the silence, low and deliberate. Thunder cracks outside, making the windows rattle, and for a moment, everything feels suspended, like the world is holding its breath. Mia tilts her head, curiosity flickering in her eyes. "Sure, sir. What's on your mind?" She pulls up a chair, the legs scraping against the floor with a soft screech. The diner is empty now, just the two of them under the dim lights, the rain a steady whisper against the glass. He takes a deep breath, his fingers tracing the rim of the mug, steam long gone. "You've been kind to me tonight, more than most would." His words come slow, each one weighted. Mia shrugs modestly. "It's nothing. Everyone deserves a break sometimes. You look like you've had a rough go. A faint smile tugs at his lips, but it's sad, laced with memories. Rough? Yeah. Lost my wife years ago. Car accident. Left me like this. He taps his leg lightly with the cane, a hollow thunk echoing. Mia's heart aches. She can picture it. The screech of tires, the shattering glass, the endless hospital beeps. I'm so sorry, she says, her voice barely above a whisper. My dad passed last year. Cancer. I know that pain. It lingers, doesn't it? He nods, eyes distant. It does. And the world moves on, but you get stuck. Silence falls again, heavy and comforting at once. The clock ticks softly on the wall, marking the seconds like a heartbeat. Mia reaches out, placing her hand over his wrinkled one, cool to the touch, veins prominent like rivers on a map. You're not alone tonight, she says gently. Inspired, she stands and heads to the kitchen, the swing door creaking. Plates clatter as she piles on leftovers. Meatloaf steaming, mashed potatoes fluffy and buttery, green beans glistening. The aromas mix, savory, homey, wrapping around her like a hug. She brings it back, setting it down with a flourish. Eat up, no charge. Can't let you leave hungry in this storm. His eyes widen, a mix of surprise and gratitude shining through. Why? You don't even know me. Mia chuckles softly, leaning against the booth. Because kindness doesn't need a reason. Plus, my little girl Lily always says, Mom, share the good stuff. She's 5, but wiser than me sometimes. He laughs, then a rusty sound, like an old engine starting up, and digs in, fork scraping the plate rhythmically. As he eats, they talk. About life, lost dreams, small joys. The rain eases to a drizzle, drops trailing down the window like tears. Mia shares stories of Lily's giggles echoing in their tiny apartment, the way her daughter's tiny hands feel in hers. He listens, nodding, his face softening. But every so often, his gaze drifts to the diner's faded walls, the peeling paint, as if seeing something more. You ever done something like that? Given without expecting back? Feels good, right? But as the meal ends, he wipes his mouth with a napkin, folding it neatly. Mia, this place, the rusty spoon, it's special to you? She nods, puzzled. Yeah, it's home away from home. He leans forward, voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. What if I told you? I know more about it than you think. Her pulse quickens. What does he mean? The air buzzes with tension, like static before a lightning strike. Stay tuned, because the twist is coming. All right, friend. Let's dive deeper into this rainy night tale. The diner's lights hum softly now, casting long shadows across the booths like fingers reaching out. Mia's heart skips a beat at his words, the fork in her hand forgotten, clinking lightly as she sets it down. The scent of cooled coffee mingles with the faint ozone from the storm outside, where lightning still flashes sporadically, illuminating the empty street in stark white bursts. What do you mean, you know more about this place? Mia asks, her voice a mix of curiosity and unease. She sits back down, chair groaning under her weight. The man, he introduces himself as Harold now, straightens a bit, his cane propped against the table like a silent sentinel. His eyes, once cloudy, sharpen with intensity. This diner, it wasn't always the Rusty Spoon. Back in the 80s, it was called Harold's Haven. My haven. Mia's breath catches, a chill running down her spine despite the warm air. She glances around the old photos on the walls, yellowed with age, showing smiling families from decades ago. Could it be? You owned it? She whispers, hands trembling slightly as she pours herself a water, the glass cool and slippery. Harold nods slowly, his voice weaving through the quiet like a thread. Built it with my wife, Elena. We poured our savings in. Laughter filled these walls, kids' birthday parties, first dates, proposals. The jukebox played Elvis, and the pie was her recipe. He pauses, eyes misting over. A silent moment stretches, the only sound the distant rumble of thunder fading away. Mia can almost hear the echoes. Giggles, clinking glasses, the sizzle of burgers on the grill from years past. But then, the accident. His words hang heavy. Lost her. Lost my mobility. The bills piled up, medical, loans. I had to sell. Watched it change hands, fade a bit. But I never forgot. Mia leans in, empathy flooding her. That's heartbreaking. Why come back now? Harold sighs, fingers drumming lightly on the table. A rhythmic tap tap tap. To remember. And to see if the heart's still here. They share stories then. The conversation flowing like the rain outside. Now a gentle patter. Mia talks about buying the place 5 years ago with a small inheritance. Fighting to keep it afloat amid chain restaurants popping up. It's tough, she admits, voice cracking. Tips are slim, repairs endless. But the regulars, they're family. Harold listens, nodding. His face a canvas of emotions. Regret, nostalgia, a spark of something else. Imagine sitting there, uncovering layers of history in a place you thought you knew. What secrets do your favorite spots hold? As the clock strikes midnight, chimes echoing softly, Harold reaches into his coat pocket. His hand emerges with an old, tarnished keychain shaped like a spoon. This was mine, he says, placing it on the table with a soft clink. Mia picks it up, metal warm from his touch. Inscriptions faded but legible. Harold's haven, where hearts meet. Her mind races, is this real? But then his expression shifts, a sly glint in his eye. Mia, what if I said I'm not who I seem? The words slice through the air, sharp and unexpected. Her heart pounds, not who he seems. What's hiding behind that crippled facade? Oh, this is getting intense. Don't stop now. Whoa, hold on, we're at the edge here, friend. Back in the rusty spoon. The air feels thicker now, charged like right before a storm breaks again. Mia stares at the keychain in her palm, its weight surprisingly heavy, the metal etched with memories. The diner's quiet is almost deafening. No rain now, just the occasional drip from the eaves outside, plinking like a metronome counting down to something big. Not who you seem? Mia echoes, her voice barely a whisper, eyebrows knitting together. She sets the keychain down with a soft thud, leaning back as if distance might clarify things. Harold, or whoever he is, straightens his posture just a fraction, the cane forgotten beside him. His eyes lock on hers, steady and piercing. I've watched this place from afar, seen it struggle, but your kindness tonight, it reminds me of Elena. Mia's thoughts whirl, flattery mixed with confusion. The fluorescent light flickers once, casting a brief shadow across his face, making him look almost different, stronger. I appreciate that, she says cautiously, fingers fidgeting with her apron strings. But why the disguise? The cane? The clothes? He chuckles softly, a sound that starts low and builds, echoing off the empty booths. Not a disguise exactly. The accident was real. But life, it turned around. Pause. A long, deliberate silence where Mia's breath quickens, the clock's tick amplifying in her ears. Outside, a car whooshes by, tires hissing on wet asphalt, headlights briefly illuminating the diner like a spotlight. Then, he leans forward, voice dropping to a dramatic hush. I'm a billionaire, Mia. Harold Voss, founder of Voss Tech, sold my inventions, medical devices, ironically, and built an empire. Her jaw drops, a gasp escaping. Sensory overload. Her hands go clammy. The room spins slightly, the faint smell of leftover food turning her stomach. Billionaire? Here? In rags? Prove it, she blurts, half laughing in disbelief. He pulls out a phone, sleek, hidden in his coat, and taps the screen. It lights up with articles, photos. Harold in suits, shaking hands with CEOs, yachts in the background. Mia scrolls, eyes widening at headlines. Reclusive billionaire gives millions to charity. It's him, younger, but unmistakable. Why hide? She asks, voice trembling. He sighs, gaze softening. To find real people. Kindness without strings. And this restaurant. His words trail off, building suspense. Mia's heart races. What about the restaurant? The air hums with unspoken promise. Her mind flashing to Lily, to bills stacked high. You know that moment when everything shifts? Like the ground tilts? What would you say if a stranger dropped that bomb? Harold smiles faintly now. This restaurant, it's mine. I bought it back anonymously years ago. Mia freezes, the revelation hitting like a thunderclap. Owns it? Her job, her home away from home. In his hands? But he holds up a hand, eyes twinkling. And tonight, you've shown me something priceless. But wait. There's more. More? Her pulse thunders. What could possibly come next? This cliff is steep. Okay, wrapping this up, but trust me, it's the best part. Like the grand finale in a fireworks show. The rusty spoon feels alive now, even in the dead of night, with Mia's world spinning from Harold's bombshell. The air carries a faint, nostalgic whiff of old wood and polish from the booths, grounding her as she processes. Owns the restaurant? Her hands grip the table edge, knuckles whitening, the wood smooth under her fingers from years of use. Why you own it? Mia stammers, voice echoing slightly in the empty space. Harold nods, his cane now seeming more prop than necessity. Yes, kept it quiet, let the managers run it. But I've been watching, seeing if the soul remained. A pause, thick with emotion. As he looks around, eyes tracing the familiar cracks in the ceiling, the worn menus stacked nearby. Tears well in Mia's eyes, fear, hope, all mixed. What does this mean? For me? For everyone here? Her mind races to her co-workers' faces, laughter in the kitchen, the clatter of busy shifts. Harold reaches across, his hand steady now, patting hers gently. It means change, good change. Silence again, broken only by her shaky breath, the distant hum of a fridge kicking on. Then, with a warm smile, he continues. Your kindness tonight? It's rare. Reminds me why I built this place. So, I'm gifting it to you. The deed, the building, all yours. Mia gasps, the words slamming into her like a wave. Gift? Ownership? Visions flood. Renovations? Lily playing in a revamped play area. Security at last. Tears spill now, hot on her cheeks, as she whispers, Why me? Because you care, he says simply, voice thick with emotion. Elena would have loved you. They sit in that moment, the weight lifting, replaced by a buoyant joy. Outside, the first hints of dawn peek through clouds, birds chirping faintly. A new beginning in the air. Harold stands slowly, cane in hand but stride firmer. Papers will come tomorrow. Use it well. He hugs her, brief, paternal, the scent of rain on his coat lingering. As he heads to the door, bells jingling softly, he turns. One more thing. Keep serving the crippled ones. You never know. With that, he's gone. Footsteps fading into the morning mist. Mia stands there, keychain in hand, the diner suddenly hers. Laughter bubbles up, disbelieving, joyful, echoing off the walls. She imagines the future. Bustling crowds, Lily's proud smile. What a turnaround, right? And that's the story, friend. From a free meal to a life changed. Makes you think, in a world full of disguises, how often do we miss the billionaires in rags? Or the heroes in aprons? Now, tell me in the comments. Have you ever shown kindness to a stranger that came back in unexpected ways? What's your story?